Connecting streaming software. Alright. Alright. In your streaming software. Oh, I want to record this as well. Stream up setup. What's up, boys? I don't think you guys can see me on YouTube, right? I'm not sure what's going on. Just give me a sec, guys. Ah, there we go. Am I live? Alright. We good. What's up, boys? Oh, sweet. Okay, I see. Alright. What's going on, guys? How's everything going? I wanted to do this earlier, but I'm just such bad time management. But yeah, just wanted to pop in. Damn, you guys you guys from all types of countries, eh? I see a bunch of foreign names. Love it. I mean, I'm trying to stream. I don't really know what I'm doing, bro. I'm just having fun, you know? I just like to come chat. That's all. What's up, guys? Chemical, alright, alright. I see you. I see you. Where should I be? Alright, I'm a good looking there. Boom. Ohio, my man. One of my guys is from Ohio. He's like trying to build me something. It's like a little pencil holder. How much money did I make? I do alright. Not quite six figures. Say that. So like I work at a startup and the pay is a little bit less than probably average. It's okay. I make, let's say, between 70 and 80. I'll say that. Tristan, my man, and yo, okay, by the way, yes, I'm from Edmonton. So, if you guys want me, I was thinking we can do like a Q&A just like we did before. And we can also do, if you guys have anything you want me to react to, any type of video you want me to watch, or like something you want me to read, some article or something, just let me know, and we can do that as well, or we can just talk and do whatever. That's cool with me. All right, let's get to some of the Michigan. Damn, a lot of Midwesterners here. Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio. No shit, eh? That's pretty cool, man. Some blue collar boys. Very cool, very cool. Yeah. You said the GPA doesn't matter, then what does matter to do during college? Yeah, GPA is not as important as getting work experience, bro. That's what employers really care about. It's about getting internships, about making relationships with people. It's about developing your social skills, your hands-on skills, right? Your technical skills. GPA is pretty low on that list. I mean, for internships, it can be important, especially your first one, because like you don't really have much to go on. But yeah, those other things I mentioned are a little more important, or a lot more important. Is the audio good, guys? The video good? Everything good? I think things should be a bit better than last time. Miami. Bro, what's going on in Miami? Holy moly. Yeah, you guys are crazy. I mean, I like Miami. I've been there, but damn, you guys know how to party, man. Party. Yeah, it's a weekly thing. Why not? I look forward to this, bro. We'll go for a little while tonight. We'll go for a little while. Yeah, like I said, if you guys want me to watch any video, you want to do a little reaction type of thing, just let me know, or whatever. How relevant is coding to my current job? It's very relevant. It's very relevant. It's something that I'm working on because I'm probably the only guy there who doesn't know how to code. Like I just haven't done it since I was in school. So you get to a point, and it's really in every job. Can I speak louder? Is this not loud enough? I'll probably put the mic. Fuck like yeah, like this mic can only go so loud. Okay, so I'll try and speak a little louder. Um, let me get to your question just in a sec here. If I can fix this, if I can change anything with this audio. Anyway, yeah, every job requires coding, right? To some extent, you can only go so far with analytical solutions, and then you have to learn some coding, and I'm really lacking on that. So like that's something I've learned like pretty quickly. So yeah, it is important. Is it still not loud, guys? Because I can't really go any higher than this. What coding language you do? So we do Python at my work. Python is like I mean the benefit to it is that it's free, and so it's catching up. Like it's got a lot of, from what I know, it's pretty sufficient for most applications. Yeah, definitely learn some coding. If you guys have any suggestions, because I do some like tutorials, like really beginner tutorials from YouTube, but if you guys have any suggestions on how to like really get good, that would be that'd be good. Turn up the mic again. I don't I can't, bro. Like there's no option for that. Because I tested this out before. I tested this out before and it was fine. It sounded fine and now it's not, so I don't really know what to tell you. I can hold it here. Is this any better? If I hold it here, I'll just do this the whole video. Do you recommend me? Hodge says, do you recommend me try to get an internship if I'm really early on in my degree? Yeah, bro. Like, get an internship as quickly as you can. Right? That's uh, that's that's what you should do. Yeah. Yeah, I tell people like start building your portfolio or your resume, whatever you call it, like right when you get in school. So just start meeting classmates, meet develop relationships with people, join clubs. I know it's I don't want to sound out of touch because I know obviously COVID is going on, but yeah, try to do that from the beginning. Student debt, yeah, I have a little bit of student debt. I think I paid around 25,000 for my 4 or 5 years. Some of that was reduced with grants and stuff, but it's definitely a lot less than nowadays, and it's a little bit less in Canada. And the loans aren't so bad. Like I could have paid it off when I probably after 2 3 years if I was smart and I didn't manage my money well. But yeah, yes sir. Is majoring in aerospace engineering a good choice? Yeah, aerospace is a great choice, bro. Um, aerospace is an interesting. Well, first of all, like it's looking pretty good for the future. Less maybe on the commercial side because the commercial side, I mean, it's been hit pretty hard with COVID. But I mean, there's so many new companies in the supersonic markets and hypersonic and obviously space, and look what SpaceX is doing. I mean, it's pretty amazing. And so uh, just like we're one of the companies that has gotten pretty recently. So there's just a lot of potential for the future. Yeah, it's a great degree, bro. My LinkedIn, you can find me on LinkedIn, bro. You can find me on LinkedIn. Just type in my name, Wissam Saifuddin, or James. My first name is James. Nice. We got 53 viewers. The chat looks good here. Sorry, I'm just a little maintenance. What's the funnest part about the job I'm in right now? Probably just the work that I do, man. I mean, you like literally everything that I've learned in school is applicable. Whether it's learning about combustion because we're building a combustion chamber, whether it's selecting a pump, whether it's figuring out the pressure drop in the system, simulations, uh, dealing like with vibrations, like that's what you dream of, right? That's kind of what you want. So I mean, yeah, the work is great. My team is great. Job is a lot of fun, dude. I'm a sophomore. Yo says I'm a sophomore. I still can't decide what major to choose. Let me see. So I kind of knew right away that I want to do mechanical because I just like the moving parts, right? I like projectile motion like that. That was kind of I think high school physics was like, okay, I want to do mechanical. If you're not sure, so there's a couple things, right? If let's say you like electrical and mechanical, for example, you like them both pretty equally. I might lean towards electrical, although electrical is a lot tougher. It's more of a math-based degree, but it is sort of does seem to be where we're going more on the smaller side, the programming of things. If you're not sure, I don't know, bro. You just gotta ask yourself like what ultimately like the way I look at it is what do you enjoy what do you enjoy better? Do you enjoy dealing with moving parts and machines and fluids and thermodynamics, or do you like dealing with control systems and electrical circuits and that stuff? And I would kind of make my decision that way. I would lean towards electrical if you kind of like both, like I said, but you can't really go wrong. What got me back into engineering? Yeah, so I was pretty what's it called? Disdained after my first job. I was making a lot of money, but I didn't care. I didn't like and like the I was in oil and gas, and it just wasn't fun, especially when the layoffs were coming. And so I'd gotten into poker because that was my dream. Or that was my dream was to go and play poker for a living. And so um, did that for a few years, but there was a pretty rough period because I was trying to basically not to get like too specific into poker, but you can play at the casino or you can play online, and I wanted to move towards online, and I thought I was kind of had the skill set for it, but there was like just way tougher opponents there, a lot of different things. So I ended up failing at that, and I was basically forced to get back in. Like I was forced to get back in because I had no choice. I mean, I had no money, and just life was like was not good. So it was more of a necessity to get back in, and luckily I happened to find this job that uh, I just kind of lucked out. I was persistent with it, but very very fortunate, especially here in Alberta where it's all oil and gas, and I found like the one aerospace company that's just like has an incredible goal, and I'm happy to be a part of it. So, well, my first job was it was an oil and gas. I was with Schlumberger. I was a design engineer. I worked in the completions department. Basically, it was an office job. It was mostly an office job. So we would kind of design, modify a lot of the downhole tools for the sales team. So we work with our sales team, and they would say, "Okay, can you guys give us this this tool?" And they were called Packers. Packers, which is like a sealing. It's basically a sealing tool that you run downhole. And so they would, for the most part, it was pretty basic. A lot of like material stuff, a lot of statics. A lot of like, hey, we need something this size. Can you build like can you design the size for us? And then we'd have to do some analysis to make sure that the strength was all good and that it would withstand all the forces, the pressures. And then typically we would go test these. So yeah, that was kind of my first job. High school student here. What can I do to make myself stand out? Sorry, let me. I just want to make sure that this is recording. Record. Record. Oh, there it's recording now. Alright. Alright. Um, where was it? High school student. What can you do to make yourself stand out more? Start building things, bro. Um, start building things. I don't have to hold the mic too close. Alright. I'm cool with that. Yeah. Start. If you really want to stand out, I would say it's less so important, less so focus on your grades. You should focus on your grades, but less. You're not going to stand out as much that way. You're going to stand out more so by what can you do? What can you do like with your hands? Like so, buy a 3D printer. Um, go and like start building things in your house, or take like a machining class, or something like that. That's kind of what advice I would give. Maybe find people that are in your field, people in your family that you know that are engineers. Sort of build those relationships. To ask them like what's their experience like, what this about the industry and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I would say. All right, got 76 people. Let's do it, baby. Let's go. My thoughts on honest careers? Come on, bro. I've already made a video on it. I don't want to talk about those guys too much anymore. I don't think they offer any sort of value. So it's me. Do you use CAD software a lot in your job, and what software would you recommend to learn? So yeah, we do use CAD software. Fusion 360 is primarily what we use. It seems to be just as seems to be a pretty good substitute for SolidWorks, because SolidWorks is expensive. So, but yeah, I mean, just learn one of those and you'll be fine. Mm. Yeah, I imagine a lot of those classes are probably canceled because of COVID. But you're on the right track though, bro. Like taking a machining class, taking a welding class, you can start doing things at home. Like I've talked about getting an Arduino, getting a 3D printer, um, doing some like programming stuff like that. Some good options. What emerging technologies or field of study that are you expecting to grow more in the future? Yeah, that's a good question. So obviously a lot of renewable stuff, right? So at our work, we're trying to develop a hydrogen powered aircraft, which will be the first of its kind. So a lot of demand for renewables, right? A lot of demand for renewables. The space industry is taking off for sure. Um, yeah, AI. I mean, yeah, there's a lot, especially mechanical. Like when you start talking about renewables and stuff, a lot of that is mechanical, right? It comes down to efficiencies. So yeah, yeah. Is programming in C, C++, and Python helpful for getting aerospace positions? Yeah, bro. Like, look, pick a language or even two languages if you want, and learn them. And there's plenty. Like every industry requires programming, whether it be civil, whether it be electrical, aerospace, mechanical, chemical. All at some point, like I said, you're all the formulas that y'all have learned in school. Well, you need to know the fundamentals. At some point, you gotta you can't really design really expensive products and final products with just hand calculations. Sometimes you can, but a lot of times you need to implement numerical analysis and simulations. And like I said, I'm trying to catch up myself because all the engineers at my work do know how to code and stuff. So yeah, bro, like every industry, coding is a fantastic skill for whatever industry that you have. It's very um, in demand. As a mechanical engineer, my man Sammy, as a mechanical engineer, is it worth it? And is it worth it and boring to work in aircraft engines and specialize as a life career? What makes the perfect? Sorry, bro, this a little bit of a broken sentence. I think what you're saying is it worth it to to be in aerospace? And to specialize? I think that's what you're saying. Look, blah, blah, blah. I love my work. I love my work. I think aerospace is a fascinating industry. I think every single discipline uh, is required for it: electrical and materials and civil and controls and all that stuff. I would rather be no. There's no other industry I'd want to work in. To be honest, it's just incredible. Um. Should I take a drafting class? Yeah, you can take a drafting class. It doesn't hurt. I mean, you're going to learn drafting in school, right? You're going to take a couple of courses in drawings and 3D modeling and stuff. The land down under, the land down under. Hello, Australia, nailing down under. Kangaroos, mate. I'm a boomer, man. Give me a sec, guys. I'm just gonna optimize some things here on the chat. Make this a little bit smaller. Alright. Alright, cool. Do I play guitar? I do play guitar. Yeah, a little bit. I used to play piano a lot. But I don't know. I play guitar here and there. I like John Mayer. Any John Mayer fans? What's the where am I? Alright. Opinion on biomedical engineering. I think someone asked me this before. I think it's a little bit too niche. So what I would suggest is to get like a mechanical degree and then specialize in biomed, right? Like whatever courses you need to take, get internships in those industries, meet people in those kind of fields. That's what I would say, and that's what I've heard from other people. Because if you look, there's not that many jobs in biomed. It's a very specific one. Why not do one of the broader disciplines and then specialize from there? That's what a lot of people do. Even with aerospace, a lot of our aerospace engineers are mechanicals, and then they specialize in aerospace, and you'll find that a lot in those kind of industries. Yeah, I played piano since I was younger, since I was probably 5, 6 years old. Hassan says, "Hello, Isam. Is working as a mechanical engineer boring? Do you get to design anything?" Yeah, I mean, I talk about my job quite a bit. We do design a lot. Every job is different, but the ones that I've had, you are doing typically design, and it depends. You can go into ones that are more manufacturing. You can go into ones that are more project management based, I guess. Maybe after a couple of years. Well, but yeah, there's design is cool, man. So yeah, we do design a lot. Fahid, as a Scottish engineer graduating from British University, you think it will be hard finding a job in the U.S. getting sponsored for a visa? To be honest, bro, I don't know too much about um sponsoring and stuff like that. Like I'm from Canada, so I think moving here and finding work is a little bit easier than it is in the U.S. I could be wrong there, but yeah, I'm not really sure about that. Where did I say hypersonics? Yeah, we're still hypersonics, bro. That's our goal is to develop a hypersonic air breathing engine. It's pretty interesting stuff, man. What are some projects that could be good for electrical that could help for an interview? Yeah, I've talked about Arduinos before. I'm no expert on Arduinos. I just know that if you want something that's you can you can do at home and you can build stuff, uh, get an Arduino or get some sort of PLC and start. It's great. Like I made a video on it, or I linked some like a really one that you can buy, and it comes with a bunch of tutorials and a bunch of equipment and a bunch of stuff. Yeah, anything that you can build, like Arduino is probably a good place to start. Alex Era, have I ever met people who've majored in applied mathematics? And what's my opinion on it? I don't know. No, I haven't. I haven't met anyone in that major. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you can do aside from teach. What could you do? I probably sound super ignorant here, but what could you do with an applied math degree? Um, I don't know honestly. I don't know. The, I was gonna say programming, but no, not really. I mean, there's a lot of math involved in programming, but yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't see. I wouldn't imagine there's too many. Like as far as like trying to get like an engineering position with it. Is there a need for that? Like I've never met one in the industry, so I don't know how that would translate to engineering. Probably not very much. Justin, you're gonna graduate this May, my man. That's awesome, dude. What was my least favorite class in school? Probably electricity and magnetism. I had no interest in anything electrical. But now it's interesting because I used to hate coding. I used to hate electrical stuff. now that you kind of you you see how they're applied, it's pretty fascinating. So like even now I'm kind of learning coding. I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty interesting. I'm learning about really basic stuff, voltage, current, how how we okay, we plug in a pressure sensor and then it we read the pressure, but what's the process? Oh, okay, you first you have a voltage, and then that voltage it sends out a current, and that current is from 4 to 20 milliamps, and blah, and then that has to be converted back to digital, blah blah blah, or analog. See, I'm still learning stuff, but it's really interesting once you get to um, see how everything's applied. And that's something that I think the schools do a pretty bad job of, is like how is what I'm learning applied, right? Because I feel like if professors, if they taught that a lot more, people will be they would retain that information more. Even Elon talks about this. So yeah, what like this is also the reason why I push internships and stuff, right? Is because a lot of times in school I found myself being like, what the hell am I learning this for? Like, what good is calculus? What good is like? Can you tell me how this like heat transfer stuff is applied? So yeah, that's a good thing about like getting out and trying to find work while you're in school, is because you get to see how you use all this stuff. So I don't remember what the question was now. I just kind of riff. Will the aerospace industry still be booming in 10 years? Um, dude, like I said, I think what SpaceX has done is pretty amazing. Like there's a resurgence in, I mean, because now you had NASA for decades. They were the only company, and they're not a private company, but they were the only company who would launch things into space. And now you got SpaceX, you got Rocket Lab, you got tons of companies now going to space. So yeah, and then you got companies like us trying to get into the hypersonic markets. You got other ones in the supersonic. You're starting to see some talk about maybe supersonic commercial flights coming back. Hell yeah, man! Aerospace is in a good place for sure. Wissam, I'm going to my final year of automotive engineering. Where else do you know I can go in Southern Ontario, bro? I have no idea. Like I'm in Alberta, so um, automotive engineering, eh? Interesting. We don't have that discipline here, uh, at least in where I'm from. But that's a pretty specific one. Anyway, good luck. Yeah, no, I really don't know like about the industry and where it is, and unless it's kind of in my area for the most part. How hard was it getting back into engineering? Yeah, it was pretty tough, dude. Like I didn't do anything in Delta V. I see your question there. I'll get to you in a sec. Um, yeah, it was tough. Like, because you know, like think so in those 4 years that I was playing poker, I didn't do anything to like benefit myself to get back in my field, right? And everything that I'm telling you guys, like make relationships and do this and that, like I didn't do any of that. I just applied for my job the old-fashioned way. So it was tough. It was tough. Took me almost a year, really. Um, mind you, we're in Alberta, which has been hit. It's really tough right now in Alberta because of oil and gas, and we're all about oil and gas, and it's just like there's not much. There's just not much going on. So yeah, it was a challenge. Do I hold security clearance? No, no, I don't. I think when we start traveling to the States, like we've done some of that stuff already. I'm not an expert on it. I know the U.S. is a little bit more stringent. But I mean, I work where I live, so it's not something it's not a problem. Um, but yeah, like going to work in the U.S., especially for aerospace, like sometimes you're just not allowed to. Sometimes like SpaceX cannot hire foreign people to come work because it's aerospace and there's military applications, and that's how it is in the U.S. So I don't really know how you get around that. Bro, am I Albanian? No, I'm Lebanese. Yes, sir. 93 viewers. Pretty cool, man. Man, this thermos sucks. Tea's already cold. Probably getting. Okay, we got some questions here. Obviously, what should I look for? What should I look for to decide which engineering university? Um, I I don't think. Okay, here's my honest take. I don't think universities matter that much. To me, the difference between spending, I don't know, 80,000 on tuition at some prestigious school versus 30,000 is not really worth it. Like I would, this has kind of been my experience in the industry is like they don't really care. Like we have engineers from everywhere. I don't even know probably some of the schools that they're from because it doesn't matter. What matters is your experience, right? Like when an employer looks at your resume, the first thing they're going to look for, what has this person done? What are the projects he's done? What's been his experience? What are his skills? Education is like after GPA after. Like it doesn't really matter. Now, if the quality of the university is an issue, you want to find one that's like is respectable. But really, like I wouldn't consider going like I mean, is it worth it going to MIT? I think the reason like MIT's looked so high is because a lot of the graduates. Um, I was reading this the other day. Like it's not because the school is so much better. It's because what the graduates have done that have happened to go from that to that school. But um, as long as your school is like an adequate one, it has similar sort of curriculum to every school. I wouldn't worry too much about school. Like save your tuition and just pick a school and get some work experience, and you should be all right. All right. Any memories of my iron ring ceremony? It was cool. I mean, it was it's pretty pretty business, pretty corporate. So yeah, they're pretty serious about it. Like I don't know what was it. It was a few years ago now. By the way, I don't have my ring. Lost it a few years ago. I haven't bothered to wear it. Honestly, I probably wouldn't wear it even if I had it. I don't know. But yeah, it was cool. I don't know. It's sort of like a reward kind of thing. How to get the most out of an internship? Man, just ask questions and be willing to like work a lot. Like offer to do work. Like you guys know what I mean? Just like what should I say? Well, what am I trying to say? Yeah, like try and go above and beyond because your seniors will appreciate that. Your employers will appreciate that. You'll build those kind of relationships. Like a lot of our interns, they probably end up coming back and working for us. Um, because I mean, first of all, they're great. They know a lot. It's a pleasure to have them. But they've really impressed sort of my senior and the because he makes it the really the decisions. So yeah, just try like be willing to just like work a lot and take on work and bring a lot of energy and ask a lot of questions. Uh, yeah, is it possible to? Well, let me get to some few here. Am I doing the CFD? We do CFD out of work. I don't do it myself, but yes, a lot of CFD. Other than engineering, what would I have majored in? I have no idea, honestly. Honestly, I might have just done YouTube. Like I don't know, maybe math, but yeah, yeah. I don't know if I would have went to college if it wasn't for engineering. Will it be civil engineering's future? I mean, there's always going to be a demand for civil, right? Like it's not something that's going to be displaced. You're always gonna need to build buildings and roads and houses and infrastructures. Like yeah, I mean, I civil's fine, dude. Civil's not going anywhere. Do you think it's possible to play sports and major in engineering? if you have the discipline to do it, bro, you can do it. I didn't have the discipline to take 6 courses, like, and a lot of that, a lot of people can, and I probably could have if I wasn't so into poker and just my mind was kind of elsewhere. But yeah, like it depends how good your time management is. Maybe like I don't know. You have to have a ton of discipline, bro, because 6 courses are pretty intense. You can always lighten your course load a bit and make your school a little bit longer, but that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Uh, do I think somebody asked me earlier? Do I think I'd be able to integrate something right now, like an actual like calculus integration? I can do like basic ones, but I don't know. Throw me one and let me see. Is 26 too old to go to engineering school? I don't think so, dude. No, I think a lot of older students actually do the best because they come in sort of with some life experience. They come in probably knowing a little bit better how to learn. They've probably worked. They have a little bit better time management, a little bit better social skills. And I think employers they want, like, it's kind of hiring someone who's like 30, a fresh grad who's 30. I don't really I see that as kind of a bonus, like a benefit, to be honest. I think you'll probably be better prepared. You go into school when you're sort of in your late 20s. Now, if you're asking me if you're like 50, it's going to be pretty challenging for an employer to want to hire someone who's 50, who's a fresh grad, as opposed to someone who's 24. That's what I think. But no, I don't think, yeah, like 26 is you're fine, dude. You're fine. Mm. A lot of questions here, boys. Do I work out? What am I doing? I work out, yeah. I work out 5 days a week. Do a little bit of boxing too. Would I rather fight 10 lobster sized dogs or one dog sized lobster? It'd probably be pretty tough to fend off 10 lobster sized dogs. I'd probably have to go with the one dog sized lobster, right? So, I mean, if you're just able to control, I was going to say his mouth, what do lobsters have? Because you have 10 lobsters, you have 20 of those freaking claws, right? Ah, man. I'll take one. Any aerospace jobs in Calgary? I don't know. I don't know. Is it worth taking an internship from another engineering field? Yeah. Look, like, any work is good work. You want to, like, if you know, for example, you want to go into HVAC, you want to try and find internships in HVAC, right? You want to follow these companies on LinkedIn. You want to reach out to them. You want to build relationships with those industries. Um, if it's like, hey, I have to take this internship, like, any work experience is good experience, right? Especially your first couple internships. So yeah. Mm. Brazil. Yeah, so I've heard about some of the yeah, I don't know. Like, some countries like Brazil and like India, I've heard the situations are not good there. I don't really know what kind of advice to give other than to try and maybe go to school in a different country. Like, I don't know. It does seem like there's from what you guys have told me, a lot more supply than there is demand. It's hard to find work. It doesn't pay well. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Like, yeah, I might have to even, yeah, might have to go to school in somewhere else and maybe try and work somewhere else, or eventually go back there and work where your degree from the States means a little bit more, so that you can find work there better. Yeah. You want me to, where was it? You want me to integrate x times sine x? No, I don't think I don't think I can, dude. I mean, the integral of sine x is what is it? Negative cos. Integral of cos is sine. That's about it, dude. The integral of x squared is yeah, okay, that was pretty easy. 1/3 times x cubed. But you can start giving me products. Product rule, yeah, bro. I don't remember the product rule. That was 10 years ago. I haven't had to use Calc 2 since I was 20 years old. What was I, 19 years old? No, I took that in my first year. I was 18 years old. 13 years, man. I mean, the fact that I can do x squared is kind of I'm kind of impressed with that. Um, yeah, Daniel 39 and you're a sophomore, my man. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, I always found that the older not that there are too many like older students in engineering, but they always seem to do the best. So God bless you, bro. Best of luck. Yeah, I already talked about the ranking of the college. I don't think it's that important to be honest, especially after you've worked for a couple of years. Like nobody cares. If you're applying to another job, like nobody cares. Like it's just what have you done? Show me what you've done and what your experience has been. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. My man started in engineering school at 33, but he spent all these years working as a tech. So you'll probably have no problem finding work, and you probably know how to manage your time and how to figure out problems, right? So yeah, there is for people asking like there is a benefit to going into school later on for sure. Mhm. Um, I think I answered this question. What would I? Yeah, yeah. Sorry to hear that, dude. Like the situation in India. I watched something on it the other day, and it was like, I think the biggest problem is the professors. Just they have no clue. Like if you're not qualified to teach something, your students are not going to be qualified. And yeah, it's unfortunate. I was watching a video like it's just it's pretty sad. It is pretty sad. I would probably recommend moving to another school, which is easier said than done, but it's a shitty situation, bro. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they've pushed engineering so hard, even though there's not that many opportunities and there's not that many uh, people qualified to teach. But I don't know. Damn, we got 110 people watching. Sick, sick. Got it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I've talked about the Olden prisons. There's a few people that have asked me already. I think, like I said, if you're thinking about going to school in your mid 20s, like you'll do fine, dude. You'll do fine. It's almost like an advantage, I would say. I don't know what Embry Riddle is, Gavin. What is it? Let me type it here. Embry Riddle. Embry Riddle. Oh, okay. It's a aeronautic university. Very cool. Very interesting. Graduation rate. Hmm. I mean, yeah, I don't know. If you know you want to go into aerospace, if that's if that's a pretty solid uni, then yeah, go for it, dude. I don't know what the tuition is. I don't know anything about it, but CSU, Cal Poly, or Cal Berkeley. I don't know, dude. I'm not from the states. Taking pre-calc and trig in the summer to do calc in the fall. Yeah, I think it's good to do calculus before university. So if you're in high school, I always recommend take calculus because you're gonna take it again in uni, but it's a lot of people struggle with beginners calculus. So if you don't have if you didn't do pre-calc, it can be tough. So yeah, dude, you're on the right track. it is hard for Asian. It's hard for an Asian to find a Mechie job in the U.S. I don't know. I don't know. What's your Send me your resume. You know? It's tough. Like now. Yeah, it's definitely not as I think things are starting to come back a bit with COVID. So hopefully hopefully I think more opportunities are starting to show up and things are kind of getting back to normal. So hopefully some of those jobs, or I guess some of the companies start allocating their funds back into engineering. Um, but yeah, there was a question here I was gonna uh what skills do you see engineering grads lacking the most? It's a great question because I was one of them. I was one of those lacking the skills. Um, I think there's probably two you want to focus on is your social skills and your I guess hands-on or technical skills. Um, I get a lot ever since I put out my resume video. It's kind of interesting because I get a lot of resumes that are not good, and almost always they're 4.0s. These are smart people, but they don't know what employers are looking for. They don't know, um, probably not the best like communicators. I think that you can like what helps you really in the industry is is building relationships with people. Probably number one. So that's probably what I think they lack the most because if you think about it, engineering is not it's one of these disciplines that's kind of it's prestigious discipline, right? Like it's lumped in with medicine and dentistry and lawyers. The difference with those is that you're forced to take a practicum, like you're forced to go and work for 2 years before physiotherapy, right? Like before you actually get into the field. So you kind of come out having some work experience and having worked with people. If you don't have those two, like it's gonna be pretty tough. So that's why I always push you guys. It's not about getting the best grades. It's more so about meeting people, making connections, and like what I mean is go make friends, meet some of your colleagues. Like just it's so easy to do in school. Um, Join clubs, go meet with your counselors, go meet with your professors, develop these sort of relationships, get internships, like build a LinkedIn, all this kind of stuff. That's why a lot of people struggle because it it is tough to get work if you don't really develop those experience or those relationships. A lot of the interns that we get, they are sharp. They come in. I learn a lot from them. Personally, I learned a lot from them. They've worked with mills and lathes and they've with VFDs and stuff that I haven't even done. They've already got that experience. So those are the kind of people that we look for. You want to be also you want to be social, right? You want to know how to present what employers want. I had someone message me the other day. He was like, it was about his resume and whatever. He's asking me about if there's work in my job, and I'm like, there's not. And he said, oh, okay, cool. Like, let me know. I'd love to work with rockets. What's the problem with that? The problem there is that that tells me that you don't know, like you're quite inexperienced just from saying that because I don't really care what you worked on, bro. I'm the employer, right? If I'm the employer, I'm like, what can you do for me, right? What can you do for me? Not what can I do for you. It's not what is so interesting to you. I'm glad the work is interesting for you, but what can you do for me? So it's the mentality, it's the social skills, the sort of experience. Yeah, make friends, man. Meet your colleagues, meet your professors. Um, you have to be a little bit socially sort of adequate in any field, and it includes engineers. And I think that's when a lot of them struggle with. So long answer, but there you go. We grinding here, boys. We grinding. Do you guys like doing these at night? Well, actually, tonight where I'm from, it's 10 p.m. right now. Um, sort of like an after hours thing. Someone mentioned that last time. I was like, this feels like an after hours thing. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. Industrial engineer. bring a, bring a. No, don't do that. Yeah, thanks for the nice comments, guys. Yeah, you can send me your resume, dude. I have a hard time keeping up. Like, I don't know, I've got a bunch to sort of review. But yeah, thoughts on industrial? I don't know too much about industrial. It seems like a pretty new in terms of like being recognized as a discipline. Industrial is probably the one that's the least focused on design. It's more so about um, the manufacturing, the project side of things. So I think if you're more so see yourself in like a managerial kind of leadership position, and less so in a design, yeah, industrial school. It seems like it's a growing field. It pays well. Yeah, man. I know, right? I know you're kidding, but I mean, you know. Do you think it's difficult to find jobs in aerospace engineering in other countries? I'm from Brazil and I would like to work in the sector. USA might be tough. Like I said, you have to figure out what's going on in the States because I don't think you can actually work there if you're a foreigner. Like you might have to become a citizen. I don't know, man. I'm not totally up to date with the rules on working in the States. You can, from what I've seen in other countries, the States seem to be the most strict. But yeah. Yeah, Zoom University, bro. I know I would that sucks, dude. It sucks. But I guess yeah, try and like you can still hear like with the Zoom stuff, you can still try and like I don't know how many friends you have in school or like a lot of people are sort of in the same boat. It's always good to reach out and and meet your colleagues, meet your classmates, stuff like that. You can probably do some projects at home. Um, yeah, it sucks, man. Go out and exercise. Like these are things that always help. It's bullshit, dude. It's bullshit. Schools should be open up already. Anyways. EE all the way, my man. EE is where it's at. Anthony says, "Do you think pursuing an MBA after engineering school is worth it?" Yeah, this is another one of those things I don't know too much about. I think honestly, dude, uh, like my take on this is you want to start working as quickly as possible. Um, and this goes whether you're thinking of doing a master's, whether you're thinking of getting an MBA. And by the way, a lot of companies will pay for these things. If you work for someone and you become valuable enough to them. I have heard a few times of them funding your MBA or them funding your master's. So I'm more of the mindset: get out there and start working, um, and then decide if you want to go for a couple more years and do it. Another master's question. Yeah, I think. Let me just take a sec. I think that you should do a master's if it's necessary. If you know what field you want to go into. If you're taking a master's just because you think it's going to help you get a job, I wouldn't say that's necessarily true. I don't think that the cost to reward is good. You're giving up 2 years of your time that you could be working. So that's my take. That's me personally. Most people in my I think two or three engineers that I work with have their masters. So what they did is they took mechanical, and then they mastered in aerospace. So they took 2 more years in aerospace. So that's a good thing to do. I think that is worth it because um you're getting that's a good example of specializing, right? Um, but yeah, I more so lean to just like start working and then decide. Yeah, some companies will pay for it. Shams, there you go. My company's paying for my masters. Look at that. That's pretty sick, dude. What company? What company and what masters are you doing? What company do you work for too? I'm kind of curious. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, because like what happens is the company probably they want some research and the university wants some research, and so it's kind of it's kind of a win-win. Yes, sir. Yeah, let me know. Like I said earlier, if you guys want me to like do like a reaction, a live reaction type of thing, any sort of video or something you guys have seen. I was kind of looking for stuff today, but the SpaceX thing would have been cool, but they aborted their launch. So I don't know. Masters in aerospace. All right, cool, man. Very cool. What's your what? It's a rocket company, eh? Can you tell me what it is? We might know them. Good stuff, dude. Good stuff. That sunrise. This is a Corsair headset. Yeah, this is the only one I've ever had. Seems to be all right. I was supposed to get a mic. I was supposed to get like an actual mic, because I think it'd be a little bit better than this, but been too busy, man. I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna change this font in a sec here. Give me a second, boys. Chat. Change that font color. Where do I see myself in 10 years? So, sorry, give me one sec. I don't know, dude. It's a good question. I think I was asked it before, and I didn't really have an answer. I think. Sorry. Let me just change this really quickly because I'm kind of a. Boom. All right. Yeah. The company I work for, like, I see myself working for them for I don't know, as long as I can. Like, it's so. Uh, it's so like two things, right? Like the work is so interesting. The project is like like it's a dream for an engineer. Um, like hey, trying to launch something in space. That's pretty cool. The pay's all right, and the team is great. That's really important too. The team is awesome. Um, I think that my next, if I were to find something else, it would probably be YouTube. I like doing the creative stuff as well. So that's that's really my answer is like building my career, getting better at being an engineer, and and then building this community, this channel. So yeah, just taking it day by day, as they say. Yes, sir. How often do we do math at work? Actually, there is a so like in the programming simulations, there's I don't know if the math is just incorporated into it or we actually do it. I mean, all the simulations are done using, Navier-Stokes, and so like the simulation engineer would probably be able to answer this question a bit better. When you're talking about analytical calculations, for example, okay, we want to size a heat exchanger, we want to size a pump. Not really a lot of math involved in there. The calculus and the DEs, that stuff gets is more into um, the simulation side of things. Now there are aerospace there are equations in aerodynamics that do involve some differential equations and stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's a ton, but it is there's a little bit. Say you should have seen. Got a good question here. Can you get a sense of the company culture before you actually get the job, like in an interview? If you talk to employees about company culture, is it something that you can even talk about? Hmm. So some companies, that's a tough one, right? Because if you go to, let's say, a company's LinkedIn page, it's going to be a company LinkedIn page, right? Um, you can I mean, you like, what do they have, like those websites where what was one I always used to go on one website that you'd get employees who would anonymously talk about their experience and the culture there. So yeah, I guess you can. If it's a small company, probably not. Like, I don't know what this company was about. I think a lot of the especially for small companies, a lot of the culture is really based on personnel, right? It's you don't have some you don't have like the big boys dictating the what you do and what you wear and this, and it's like what the sort of what the culture is. We like, yeah, we just have a great team, and the team is really what kind of dictates everything. So yeah. Tonight. Chris, if you're more drawn to am I related to Ross? Why am I related to Ross? Hey, Ross is a good looking dude. Um, if you Chris, so if you're more drawn to project engineering as opposed to like design, if you don't really care for, so he says I don't really care for CAD and I'm more drawn to project engineering position. That's not a bad thing, bro. Um, maybe industrial is a pretty good fit for you, but either way, like a lot of engineers, what they do, because there are a lot of like business minded, uh, sort of leadership minded engineers. I met plenty of them that they just seem like they're natural, they just they're in charge and they just boom. It's like it comes natural to them. Um, it's not a problem at all, dude. Like getting, I think it's really, I actually think, okay, I think it's a good idea to you can go down the industrial design route, but what I like about getting a traditional discipline is you develop, you have that technical background, right? So if you civil, for example, right? You get a degree in civil and you do internships along the way and you do all the right stuff, and you sort of you get your first job and you just work your way up. A lot of people, they get design uh they get degrees in whatever, civil and whatever, and then they move up like pretty quickly. You can, what, like what's my boy's name? Kareem, from the structural engineer I interviewed last.